All right, brother. We live, man.
Shoot.
We live, man.
Let's go.
First of all, man, I want to thank you for actually taking the time, man. This is a conversation that's hella overdue, man. So
Yeah.
I had you 10 months ago. We chopped it up. You know, we talked about your background and stuff. So
Yep.
I was like, man, I got to get Casey back in because I've been seeing you like low key post like your moves, right? So this podcast is going to be definitely about digital world, NFT, metaverse, all that crazy jazz. So let's get into it, bro. How you been?
Good, dog. Good. It's good to be back. Seeing you doing without AV, but AV's doing his own thing.
Yeah, shout out to AV once again, man.
Yeah, you putting out content all the time.
Yeah.
That's tight. The studio's looking good. You still got it up. Yeah, it's good to be back, bro. All's good. New year. Definitely looking at some NFTs.
Yeah.
I've been the newest thing I've kind of been into is Vivi. So Vivi's like they've got licenses with Marvel, Disney, DC. So that's kind of like something that I've been into. But just getting the new year going, man.
Yeah. What you been out of the state?
I haven't been out of the States. I kept telling myself last couple of years, my buddy actually sent me from like 2019, even 2020 when it was cheap, Dubai. I went to Tulum twice, Istanbul in 2019, Medellin, Colombia. So I was like, this year, I really want to double down on my investments, just kind of relax. I feel like I've been doing the traveling thing. And I felt like even just like mentally, let's focus on the gym. And I really think we're in a niche. We're in a part of life where generational wealth is switching and wealth is switching and tech's moving in. Yeah. So time.
So the travels, like when you say you want to calm down, were you doing travels just to travel or was it business involved or
what? No business. It was so traveling has been a big thing for me because
that's just something you love.
The Navy. Yeah. So for me, it was just like spending money. Where I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But man, it's a balance of life.
Right,
you got to save for the future, but then you got to live for the day.
You was at this dope place. What was it? I think I seen some boats and like this crazy view.
Could have been Istanbul.
Where's that, bro?
So Istanbul is in Turkey, and it is literally they have a bridge that connects Asia and Europe. It's the only city that connects the two continents,
bro.
So it's cool because I looked it up. I like big cities. Population of NYC 8.6 million. Istanbul, like 16.4, double the size of NYC, like people on people. And then we stayed at an Airbnb, super authentic, like actually met friends that I still talk to from there on IG, what? Zaza and Shamus, like it's cool. It's every time I go somewhere, I really just want to embrace myself in the culture. And I really feel like Airbnb was a huge advantage to that because we're living in this 4-story high rise. And we're going up to the roof where we're seeing people every day. You know, a lot of those places don't have escalators, elevators. They all have stairs, right? So you're seeing the people climbing down up and every day. And so you're really like living with folks. This American happened to own the Airbnb. He bought it for like 50,000 American, and he's been like traveling and leasing it out as Airbnb. And it's cool because you live with the people.
Wow, that's so humbling. I feel like that's one of those experiences where you're like, damn, like I'm out there, you know, I'm just part of I'm blending in. I'm trying to,
I'm trying to go to the mosques. I got a Turkish bath. Weirdest experience, like, I wasn't sure. So my boy, he's from India, right? My boy Varun, he's from India, and he's like, we got to do this Turkish bath thing. We're in Turkey, and I'm for it. I'm like I said, I'm embrace. So, but Turkish bath is like you only go to this spa and they switch it day and night for male and female. So we go in, I kind of get this robe, I get this Turkish tea. Me and my boy Aaron, we go separate, right? I guess it's 2 at a time. So me and my boy Aaron are like, man, what's in this tea? It's big old beautiful inside, So we have to change, you have to take off all your clothes, and you have to put on this robe. So there's this robe, some of this tea. Finally, they're like, hey, you guys ready? They open up these big old moss doors. They take us to this guy, and he walks us in.
Is this to take that shower, you said?
This is not a shower, but this is like a yeah. So you walk in, so I don't know what to expect. I thought it was like a spa, like I don't, it's Turkish bath is the term, right?
Oh, that's what it called.
So you walk in, and it's all marble inside, right? Like, and there's these big old like stone tubs. And they give you a bedpan. It almost looks like a bedpan. Like it's a little silver like bowl, right? And so you walk in and the guy like brings you in, take off your robes. They give you like this little ass towel, right? And they lay you flat on the center marble piece while everyone else is kind of going through their motions. They got soap. I see my boy Varun in the car. I'm like, what did I get myself into? But I'm like, I can't leave. Like, it's real spiritual in there.
Right,
it's
right.
like
That would be rude
It's
as
like
hell.
a church. It'd be rude, yeah. So I'm laying with my boy, and we're looking, and at the top of this dome, there's like glass, and like it's real like spiritual. So we're looking up, telling my boy Aaron, like, damn, bro, like, did they put something in the tea? Like, this is crazy. It's foggy. It's all marble. Finally, you know, someone picks you up. They end up giving you basically a bath. Like, they like purify your skin with this stuff. It's a spiritual thing. Like, I went through it, probably won't do it again, but it was the fact that I was down enough to do that, try the food, go to the mosque. You know what I mean? Just embrace yourself in the culture. Like, what are you going to say? You ever went to Turkey, got a Turkish bath, ate down, sat and ate some sheesh and some shish kebabs or some shawarmas? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it was crazy.
That is wild,
It
bro.
was crazy.
That to me is like, and I feel like you go, you know, going back to the balance, right? I feel like I would love to put myself in that position to just travel, bro.
Why
Even
not?
if you're spending money, like that's why you work for, you know what I'm saying? Like for those experiences, because that's like, that stays there for a lifetime. They're in your memories and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's dope, bro. I seen that, like I seen the snaps and stuff, like the Instagram stories. I was like, damn, that shit looks dope. Like,
Yeah. I mean, like, it's like, you know, like we were talking about David's podcast with you, and how he's real like appreciative of life, and he likes the woods and the wilderness, and like that's what it's to each his own. And like, I love how he emphasizes that it's not money, it's just a ticket that gets you access somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as you use it for that, but again, in balance and trying to be a businessman and have cash flow or balance sheet when you're ready to make a move, like, you got to balance your experiences. So this year I'm like doubling down.
What you got in store for this year?
So this year I still got, you know, the consulting I do with the tribes. So I'm still heavily involved in the gaming industry. You know, I'm really just looking to deploy cash and really get cash heavy, especially in the NFT space. When what Gary always talks about is the next, like the 99 internet crash, right? 2000 internet crash, where there was it from 95 to 96, like there was, or 95 to 2000, there was a lot of good ideas. There was Amazon, there was Apple, there was all these good concepts along the way. And then in 99, 2000, it crashed. It was like, oh, internet's fad. But as soon as the light turned on, where it wasn't.
So we're seeing that same pattern. That's what you're saying.
With NFTs. So I'm trying to find the blue chips, watch the projects, see what Gary's watching, and some of them have performed well, like World of Women, even you've seen Bored Ape. But when that internet crash happens and these all guys take a hit and everyone's like, damn, it was a fad, I'm USD heavy, and I could come into these blue chip projects that are long-term projects.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Okay. So you're focusing on 2022 being business, just chilling, finding
research
yourself.
and development, R&D. I mean, I've got the things I work on and the projects I work on, but really R&D and research and getting my hands involved in the NFT crypto side.
Okay. I'm trying to understand it, right? I've done a lot of research, or I've done, I guess, mild research, right? I watched the Full Send podcast with Gary Vee.
Yeah.
Still talking about NFTs, still going hard on it. You know, I've watched several things. I just have this, like, the ignorant side of me is saying, like, bro, this does not make any sense to buy a chimpanzee picture for $500,000. Like, why?
Right.
Like, I get, like, for example, like Gary Vee was saying, like, if you own Gary Vee, like V-Friend, let's say, right? You get access to this, you get access to that. Like, you might, you know, so that makes sense.
Right.
But just owning that digital image of a ape, like, well, why? You know, tell me why.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, there's a few things, right? Like, the art side of it we'll never get. Like, there's guys that threw paint on a canvas and all of a sudden it was art. Like, the art side, it's hard to get, right? The sides I do get is the accountability, the verified, right? Blockchain. It's all verified. You own it. So I get that. Okay. Like, you can't just go sit like Bow Wow in a PJ and then be riding coach on Delta. You know what I mean? So that's verification. I like that. The other thing is the smart contract piece. The smart contract piece, and it's really unknown because you can actually in perpetuity change the contract as more compliance opens up. So say the SEC starts to say, well, with NFTs, you can give business royalties for the businesses you have to the people that invested early, which is one of Gary's like plans. He wants to give royalties to businesses he creates around VeeFriends, which would be huge. Compliance isn't there yet. But in perpetuity, he can always change the smart contract when the compliance allows him to do so. So I think there's so much that we haven't discovered. So like, even when I'm looking at NFTs and I'm looking at, okay, what do I want to invest in? For one, Gary's hands down. Gary, yeah, he got me into it. I was like, what's an NFT? I really just invested in VeeFriends early because I believed in Gary V. And I knew that he was going to get a royalty. And I was like, if he's going to get a royalty and he's paired in this with me and he's betting, which he said multiple times before he dropped the project, I'm betting my social status on this, I'm betting my career on this,
everything.
Much. So that's the reason. But as the project developed, I started to see that he was right about the smart contract. He started adding these extra incentives and added benefits, which took the floor from, I think I paid like 3 Ethereum for mine. And right now it's going for like 26. So it's like, but he's saying that he's going to do this for the rest of his life. And this is a man that started winelibrary.com.
He nailed a lot of them.
Yeah.
He nailed like the TikTok.
Yeah.
What was the other ones? You know, the couple of them where he was hella right, and it's like jump on TikTok before it blows up, before and like boom.
And that's as you watched. I mean, way back in the day, he was telling people to get on YouTube and do videos.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So that is interesting. Because going back to like the picture side or the art side of things, it's like I feel like at a certain point, those like if that is true, if somebody bought that image for 500,000, like I feel like the price is definitely inflated. I don't know if it's one of those where it's like, I sell it to you for a lower price, but you kind of say that you bought it for this price. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Kind of like even people like if I've seen people say like it's more of like money laundering possibly.
Yeah, there's
could
all
be
that
right because there's no regulation on it. So it's like I'm trying to like think like I'm not trying to be ignorant because I know if I be ignorant with it, I'm gonna fall behind, and I don't want to do that because it's like when crypto we talk about 2013, like when they said Bitcoin, I remember when they said that I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yes.
And that was probably like $200 a Bitcoin or something like that back in the day. So
I explain NFTs and compare it to Bitcoin all the time because this VV app kind of gave me this analogies because Coinbase in 2018, you could buy Bitcoin. It was like $3,000, maybe even less, right? But you couldn't cash out. So you could buy it and you had to hold your Bitcoin. In this VV app right now, you have to buy these things called gems and you can't cash them out right now. Like because Coinbase and what VV is going through is the MLT license. It's the money transfer license and you have to get approved by every country. So usually it takes an average of a company 2.5 years to get this license. While in 2021, fast forward, Bitcoin's worth 40K and everyone can cash out. And there was 1 million user base in 2018 on Coinbase. And now there's like 10 to 15 million user base. Yeah. So I'm like VV's grown. I got on VV in May of last year. And it was like a 200,000 user base. It's 1.4. So, I mean, that's 6-7 months. And there's 20,000 active users coming to the platform every day. And it's an app you can't cash out yet. They're releasing first appearances of Spider-Man digitally, Batman, Wonder Woman. I'm like, what happens to these NFTs when you can cash out and there's 10 million people in the platform?
That is very interesting because I see now these big brands like Adidas starting to get into the NFT game, like bigger brands in general. Like, it's like, I see that and I'm like, whoa, I'm definitely behind. I'm like, I need to start getting into it now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, first of all, you need to understand it because it's like you just can't go blindly and be like, I'm going to go to these websites where they sell NFTs and just buy whatever I think because I see it cheap and I feel like you have to do your research and see like what's the purpose. And I think it's cool because I was listening to this podcast by Full Sin and they're about to launch their token. They call it the Meta token or something like that. But it's very interesting how they're thinking about it, right? They're thinking about like, let's say in the future we launch like a casino resort or a lounge. People that have that can come into this exclusive room and like chop it up with us or this and that. I'm like, whoa, that's kind of mind blowing. Like that's game changing.
Yeah. See, another example of the smart contract. The reason why Bored Ape blew up is because Bored Ape now turned into like the supreme and this exclusive club that all these celebrities are now purchasing to be in. And I think at an NFT Miami, they rented out a yacht and they gave everyone a Bored Ape a sticker, and it had a QR code. And if you were a holder, you got the sticker and you got to go to the yacht party. So you start doing that, and then you incorporate the folks that are in the community. DJ Khaled, you got rappers like Common, Snoop Dogg, Eminem. They're all Bored Ape holders. So like that, but the guys are smart because they're using that in perpetuity. Now they're even giving you commercial license rights to your actual Bored Ape. So if they come off the ground and get things going, and now you have the commercial rights, I mean, who knows what you can do with that thing as far as t-shirt lines, anything else.
That shit does feel like that internet when the internet first came out. Like it's like this thing is very revolutionary. I think cool. It's just like there's gonna be some next level stuff. Like for example, Tory Lanez, like when he did his album digitally, sold it for $1, sold in like 7 minutes, 1 million. Like what?
Bro, the perfect example of that is again Gary Vee. He in September he wrote a book, launched a book, 12 and a half. I don't want to get it right, but 12 and a half ingredients to business. And I listened to the book. It's geared more towards like kindness, and his VFriend features that it's basically good to be kind in business. You don't have to, it's not that grinder attitude. Anyway, he releases the book. He launches a promotion. He says, if you purchase 12 books, you get 1 NFT for free. So everyone's seen the success of VFriends. He sold 1.2 million books, and now there's 125,000 of these VFriend tokens, or these book games tokens, what you call them. So now January 10th, fast forward like 3 months later, everyone gets airdropped these tokens. Bro, some kids in there, like they got airdropped. He created a series, rarities, frames. You can look at it. All the information's on his page. But he incentivized the sales of his books. I paid personally, I bought 36 of them, so I got 3 NFTs. So you figure the books were $19.99. I spent $330 on those books, and I already sold 2 of the 3 NFTs, and one of them sold for 4.9K, and then one of them sold 1.1K, and I just rolled them into some cryptos I've been backing. So I'm like, and I kept one forever. I always like, now when I'm collecting things, I try and collect 3, so you can have 1 to hold, 1 to trade, and maybe 1 to sell.
So you bought 39 books.
So I bought the 36. 36, yeah. So every 12 books, I bought 36. And so not only did you get the value of having the books, and I gave some extra Christmas presents, right?
Right.
But then I got a value NFT that I then was able to sell for more later because he incentivized the project. So he did things like if you burn 36 of your tokens, because some people bought 1,200 books and they got all these tokens. Well, you actually could exchange. He has a huge collection of CryptoPunks and some Bored Apes. So he actually gave those up for grabs. So if you burned 36 of your book game tokens, you got to cash it in for a Bored Ape. So he created, through the smart contract aspects, benefits into why you should even buy this.
This guy's ahead, bro.
He's ahead. And he got a 5.5% royalty every sell. They said that there's already been 9,000 Ethereum in volume since book games got dropped on January 10th. That's 5.5 of that at Ethereum at 3,000. That's like 1.6 million in property and residual income for Gary.
Damn,
so
bro.
Depending on how he reinvests that in his community will ultimately show the success of his project. And that's why you should bet on the jockey, Gary Vee calls it. Like, who's backing the project? What have they done before? Like, what are their plans? Like, everyone has a roadmap, but like that's just like a pitch deck.
Right.
You hear 1,000 pitch decks of companies that fail all the time. Like, so I think you really got to do the research into who's backing the project, which that's why I really like this app, VV, is because you got Marvel and Disney behind it, and they're getting 6% royalties on these collectibles. I'm like, wait till they come out and say what they're doing with their 6% to reinvest in the community. What happens then?
Damn.
You know what I mean?
That's so mind blowing to me. Like just the way technology, the blockchain, everything is just moving like at a quick pace where if you don't get on it, you're done. Like you're gonna stay
and I don't
behind.
think see that's why I've been staying away from that. I think I started to look at a lot of I've been getting into investing as far as the market. I got a market exposure when I sold my company, right? That's the first time I actually had capital, 2018, to put in the stock market. So I've also been like realizing all these markets are the same if you have bad investing habits, you know, and I don't think you're late. You know, when people talk about this NFT game, it's so early. And I think Gary's so right in the fact that there's going to be this, like, it's just a fad, you know, crash, whether it's aligned with the Dow and the S&P crashing or whatever. When it happens, there's going to be that crash. So follow those blue chip projects, you know, follow, do your research on the royalties and the capabilities that companies have for these, and then be ready to strike then. Don't necessarily just get FOMO and buy in to everything that's popping. True. You know, that's true. That's really more my strategy now.
Yeah, my thing is like just learning it early. That's why I think I'm big on that, you know. But going back to like the Gary V thing, right? You say you listened to his latest book, right? That's his latest book. And it kind of caught my attention of like, you know, how they say Steve Jobs was an asshole. Right. In all aspects, right? There's a couple of businessmen that were these assholes, but then you said the Gary V says you don't have to be. Yeah. You can be a nice, you know, so kind of what you took away from that book. So you know.
I love it because he's so right. It's like, yeah, you could, it's not to confuse your willingness to win. Like, you know, when he says he'll be in a room in a podcast and he'll say, you know, I want to be anything you guys touch, any project, I want to always have the more successful project long term. But doesn't mean that I necessarily, when you're killing it, I can't buy you roses. You know, I can't cheer for you. You know, and I see it all the time. People take like kindness is weakness and you need to be strong and it's capitalistic mindset. I don't think so. And I think as tech gets better and accountability gets better, just like blockchain, you know, I loved how he said his project is out there. Now through the blockchain, you know if something won or lost. It's all there. The scoreboard is up. You know what I mean? And it's better than publicly traded companies. You know, you talk about inflation and market caps all the time and that it's 10% or it's 2 ahead of multiples. But, you know, Gary really focuses just on kindness can win. I mean, you can be competitive, but you can have candor, you know, you can have, and then he talks about, you know, patience and a few other things, but it's something good to read. Yeah. I mean, it's especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're hungry and you're building businesses. Yeah. You're building businesses because it talks a lot about employees too. Yeah. And levels on employees and, you know, and how you work for them more than they work for you. So there's some good points in there.
You got some books left?
I'm always trying to get, you know, the next thing that's on my list to read is Ray Dalio. He did this Principles of Life, and I thought it was really helpful. And it's like a book you can always go back and reference because he literally gives you a guide on how to deal with like problems in life, you know, failures. Well, he just did this one about principles of the changing world order. And it's interesting to me because I just get worried, you know. I mean, we've been America on top all the time, and I hope we always are, you know what I mean? But it's just things change, and he talks about that change in his predictions in that. And Ray Dalio, I mean, he's the man. So
man, if you talk about that, my opinion, I think if there's a leading runner to take America's spot, I think it's China.
Yeah, no, everyone. That's no joke.
That's they are kind of ahead of a lot of stuff, and
they've been able to, like, there's this dam that they even built that they said it would take, you know, us, I don't know how many years, but it's also a give and take. I mean, these guys are told to work for this. You're working for this. These are the hours you're working for. Yeah, there's no incentives. There's no freedom. There's, you know,
we got the freedom. At least, you know. Yeah. That's very interesting. So one thing that I'm kind of like still kind of wrapping my head around is like understanding market cap, right? So last time we talked about it, we were talking about Bitcoin. There's a digital gold. I think gold had like a 10 billion, 10 trillion market cap or something?
$1 trillion. So it had passed $1 trillion.
Yes, and then Bitcoin was at like $1 trillion. So what does that like actually mean? Because I see it all the time and I'm trying to pay attention to it, and I see, you know, investors talk about the market cap, like this new coin has this market cap, and it's like, what does that mean? Like,
okay, solid question. So basically, I would look at the market cap as popularity.
That's key. That's key,
huge.
Right?
It's huge in investing to understand. Right. Yes, because you know, most people they confuse the share price and they don't understand the market cap. So they're like, well, I'm just giving examples. BlackBerry, you know, is going for $25 and Netflix or Hastings is going for, you know, $5. Why? But the market cap of Hastings is bigger, but the share price is smaller. So just based on how many shares they have outstanding. So market cap, you really need to look at market cap as a sense of like popularity. Like how many people are invested in this project?
Is that what that means?
The project, yeah. When you look at the project Bitcoin, there is now $1 trillion backing this project right now, as of right now. Or you know what I mean?
Sense.
And when you look at a new up and coming project and you see that it's only a $200 million market cap, you're like, hey, for an investing, this is where you take in like, there's only 200 million in this project, and all the similar companies to this company are all market caps are $2 billion. You know, are they really going to compete with these guys? And since they are so low and their potential, since these guys are out, you know, and then that's when you could look at what sector of the U.S. they're operating in and how much market cap's available, market shares available for them to take. So, but yeah, it's huge. Market cap
Makes
is
sense.
huge. I would look at it, bottom line, popularity in the project.
Okay, that's the easiest explanation because I tried, I don't know, and I'm like, I need to understand that because I obviously know like the price, that's like, you know, but it was like just kind of like that confusion of like, what does it actually mean when you look at
popularity in the project. Yeah.
So that's interesting.
So when you look at coinmarketcap.com or anything else, you always see Bitcoin 1, Ethereum 2, and it has like the top 10 cryptos. And some of them will exchange market cap sizes and pass each other for the...
Okay. So like last time we talked about you losing 30K in the stock market. And I kind of wanted to like dig deep into that because I know like back AV wasn't into it. So he was probably going to be like, let's move on to the next shit. But now I can kind of like see like 30,000 in the stock market. Was this like when the whole 2020, the whole COVID shit happened or what?
It was actually a little bit before. I actually lost some money during that too.
Yeah.
But I got out, luckily, as it was starting to come down. But
so what stocks were they?
So this one was a stock called MDR. And it's funny because there's a few people watching, probably my boy Varun, a couple of people that went in on with me. You know what I mean? Probably a lot smaller than I did. But I had just got into investing. I had just kind of started to understand technical analysis and some of the fundamentals in technical analysis. So technical analysis is like support and resistance lines.
Right, yes. And then
so I had just kind of started taking a couple courses. All the courses said, don't get in, do paper trading, like this, and this. And a company that I had thought was strong and solid, which is a oil and gas company. The technical analysis looked good. I thought they had just bad earnings.
What about fundamental?
I didn't get on them on the fundamentals that well. That's where that's a big thing that I always tell. It's huge.
I think that fluctuates.
And I didn't even understand oil and gas. What the fuck was I doing?
Yeah. That's one of those.
But I had just sold. I had some money. I just wanted to get exposure. I had been seeing the folks around me making money. So I just went in. And the company ended up going bankrupt, filing bankruptcy, and we all lost. So
how did you take that, bro? Because 30,000 is a lot.
Yeah, it was huge.
Regardless if it was like actually money that you were willing to sacrifice, where it was like chump change. At the end of the day, it's still 30,000.
It's still 30 grand.
Yeah.
No, you take your licks and you go. But I see it. It's kind of. I come from a place. The place I come from. I grew up, at the horse races with my grandfather. I was betting on the horse simulating tracks when I was 16. Like I'm a huge gambler and huge risk taker, but it hurt. I mean, it hurts like anything else. But you take your licks and you move on.
Yeah, you don't let your emotions.
Learn, and and so you take a $30,000 hit, and you're like, oh my god, why was no fundamentals, no like you take a step back.
That was pretty much your fault.
It was my fault. Yeah, and I took that, and I think taking that responsibility allowed for growth. For sure. There's just a lot of insider trading going on too.
Yeah. I was just going to say like with that, like, because the fundamental I think is very key because I feel like I've been in that position where like the technical looks good and then the fundamentals like news has to do a lot with it. So how do you stay on top of that? Like, because I feel like that's a lot too. You have to look at it and like be on it?
So now, I mean, besides just buying the S&P 500 and having like my safe stuff, I really have kind of got out of the market as far as trying to look for those quick come ups. I've just been getting more into Ethereum. You know, I started buying, so crypto came along, fundamentals in my head came along, and I started to also see that the stock market, I mean, shoot, I'm trying to beat these hedge funds.
Because at that time, you threw the 30. Like, it wasn't that you put, like, let's say 15K, made 30 and then lost all of it. Was it just the 30 that you put into it and you lost that 30?
100%.
Yeah. Like, godly.
Yeah. So, but it gave me the sense like, okay, stop. Don't put it, learn some, you know, and keep, again, like that technical analysis, you know, and what I learned and thinking that was all I needed helped me later when I got the fundamentals and started understanding what crypto projects. I got business and I understand what business was. I just really needed to start finding those projects that were solid fundamentally and good business concepts. And then I also started to say, I need to get out of trading. Like day trading is probably not for me. Like there's probably going to be good trades that I'll encounter now because I understand companies that are fundamentally sound, but then the market tanks and I'll take advantage now because my experience is getting better. But I needed to take myself out of, I need to try and make $5,000 this week using my 50. I needed to get out of that
mentality.
Yeah, because I'm not winning at that.
Yeah, that was kind of like
okay.
Because last time you came in, we talked about I was doing the foreign exchange stuff.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah.
I like it, you know, just looking at the charts and stuff, but it is time consuming. You got to be on your toes for that because that's like a matter of like any fundamental or, you know, like shit goes like, I remember there was, I think Biden was about to do an announcement and US 30 was, and I had placed I remember this is when I was still doing it. I had placed a buy. I had placed a sell for US 30, but I was getting too like anxious, like, damn, I'm going to lose my money. And that's what I was going to go back to is like emotions, letting go of the emotions, because that's the number one rule. Like, don't let your emotions get to you. Make the decisions. And like, if you make a loss, don't like keep like, oh shit, I lost. Like move on, you know, but it's also hard because it's your hard earned money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that balance. So I remember I was on a sale and this was like probably a good 5 minutes. Biden has said something. And I have got out of that sale, and I just probably made like about $100 in profits, right?
Nice.
Which was still good.
Yeah,
but when I seen it do like, it went for a buy and then a sell, I would have made like 2 racks in like no time. Because it went like hella, like I've never seen something like that. The market just dipped like crazy. And I was in US 30, and I was like, damn, that is crazy how, you know, I think fundamentals just as important. Like, you gotta be on it. But that's crazy, bro. Like another one that you also said on the previous podcast, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is like you said that you also gained 40K from.
Yeah. So
was it the vaccine stock or something?
OCGN.
OCGN.
Yeah, that was my next. So see again, betting. I was a little more fundamental because I understood what the virus. Obviously we're at home, COVID. We're all.
So how much did you put in? Like
I put in like $7,000. $7,000 when it was at 88 cents.
Shit.
Yeah.
They gave you a 40.
They gave me a 40, and I probably could have made like 75, but I traded in and out through the, because you know it'll shoot up. It shot up to $4, and then it went down to $2.
And was that a time that would like lock down? You don't know what the hell to expect.
Yeah. And what was great about that is I took some friends with me.
That's a risk,
again.
bro. Like that was like
that's a risk.
Shit.
But I understood. I you know what I understood about that is that they you know the company at the time was just a shell. India had already made the vaccine. The only way they can get it through our compliance is running it through a shell company. So it was a company that was never going to generate. Its stock price was sound where it was at, generating no revenue because all they were doing was searching for a fixture to cure blindness. But they had a relationship with this hospital in India. So I really was watching. They were on my watch list. Then I seen these articles come out about breaking news that India is going to use OCGN as their shell company to get the virus through the FDA. So I saw that and I'm like, look,
I got to get in.
Yeah, I saw Pfizer before that, Moderna before that, didn't get any of that, but saw them go up. I'm like, COVID's the next big thing to invest in, which is horrible, but and it paid off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
with that $7,000, was it something that you said like, if I end up
Yeah.
losing it, I'm cool with it?
I'm always like that. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good.
And then it's like Kevin O'Leary says, like no more than 20% in a project, no more than 5% in every stock. You can make your own bets, but as you use that to a guideline, you're diversified and you're never going to get really taken out of the game. Because I'm a firm believer in long game.
Yeah.
And even though I do like to make quick money sometimes, I think that you have to still play long game. And if I ever take the big bet to where it takes me out of the game, then I lost. Okay. I don't want to risk that. Yeah.
So where is like your portfolio at right now as far as like stock, crypto, NFT? Like if you had to divide that by percentage or
it's heavy crypto, NFT, and then stock
is the last.
It's and only because my investments just really blew up. I mean, my VFriend and where it's at, the Ethereum I started buying at 1,600. And I'm hoping it dips again because I've just now, like I said, I've been stacking discount.
That's like Christmas.
Yeah,
that's how I see it too.
Yeah, so it's just and it's time and market.
Yeah.
So really, and then for me, Warren Buffett gave this advice, and he's probably right. I mean, when he dies, his Berkshire Hathaway's, if he dies before his wife, he has it in his will that his whole equity of Berkshire Hathaway converts to a stock purchase, and it immediately purchases the S&P 500 the day he dies, and it's just going to keep it in that fund for her to live off of because it's been proven the S&P 500
it's been always up.
It's always outperformed hedge funds. There's not many hedge funds that have ever outperformed, the S&P. So for me, it's just like trying to get in these risky technology investments and then funnel it back into America because that's what you're betting on. I mean, the only way the S&P fails is if America fails.
Right.
And yes, we might go through a little market correction where we correct 30-40%, which is huge. It's almost like a recession, but that's a discount again.
That's what it is. That is interesting. So crypto right now is like your big guy.
That's my 10x plays.
What app do you use right now?
So my newest 10x play or like 100x play is Vivi. It's like I think it started in August. So I got NFTs in May with Gary's project, right? And so through Gary's project, obviously I seen that it went, literally like 3 months after auction, I could have sold it at like 16, 17 ETH and just took the profit right away.
Yeah.
But, I'm a believer in him, so I'm just holding it forever. But he got me into researching it more because, again, I migrated solely from the stock market. I started looking at cryptos, already had bought Ethereum, already messed around with it, but never like bought an NFT. So then when he said create the MetaMask, I was like, well, now I have ETH and I have a MetaMask. Should I buy other projects? And I almost bought Bored Ape. Bro, it was 20 grand, but it was going to clear out like most of my ETH. And I was like, I don't know.
Where's it at right now?
Bored Ape, the cheapest one is like 300 grand. Yeah.
What the?
Yeah. And Gary was talking about it in our Discord. And this guy, Jimmy ETH, that created Avastars, Gary created this program where we get, if you're an upcoming artist, you could launch 555 out of your collection. And he airdrops it for free to V1 holders. And then through that, you can start hopefully generating revenue or whatever. But we just get one for free for being a VFriend holder. So, but this guy is talking about Bored Ape. He bought like 4 of them. He bought one. Jimmy bought a gold one, and he sold it for like 3.4 million. He made articles. He's in our Discord, and I'm like, man, I'll meet this guy at VCon because that's a conference that's coming up in May for VFriend holders. But I never met him in person. But yeah, I could have got in like at 20 grand. I did.
Damn, bro, that is wild, bro. That's just mind blowing. Like. Yeah. The whole space
is crazy. But then, so since then, I've kept my ETH, haven't sold it or haven't really bought anything. And I discovered Vivi, which right now is just an app. So it's Vivi Collectibles.
Yeah.
It's gems only. You can use your Apple, you can use your credit card. You can only purchase up to 600 gems at a time. So $600. But they locked down these licenses. I did some research. In 2016, they were out knocking on Disney's door, Marvel's door, and it reminded me of Netflix, going back to a lot of these old IP brands like Family, Full House, and Family Matters. And they told them, hey, we're going to give you an extra income because we got this streaming service that no one knows about, and we're just going to give you a percentage if people watch. And they're like, well, okay, take all our IP brands. And they sold. Well, now there's 10 different streaming services, Disney, Paramount. And so now people are more competitive, or they're more secure with their IP. They're like, I don't know, do I want to go Paramount? Do I want to go, who's going to give me the better deal? Well, Vivi came out in 2016. They had a really good guy, a part of the team, part of the founding team, and he recruited Disney, Marvel, because really all the action is on OpenSea. If you look at the numbers, there was a 1.4 billion in the first 12 days in revenue, in volume at an OpenSea. Like people buying NFTs, 1.4 billion. So, but Vivi didn't go that route. They went with this Vivi Collectibles. They're going to their MLT license that I talked about. That usually takes companies 2.5 years. And at the end of Q1, they're going to migrate it to where you can purchase the collectibles with an OMI token and that you can convert to Ethereum. So at least you'll be able to cash out at that point for ETH. Well, my whole thing is, you're on this app. First of all, when I tell people 50% of them you can't cash out, like, I don't want to get in yet. I'll wait. I'll stay on the sideline. But since I've started on the sidelines myself and was watching, I saw how it went from 200,000 user base then to 300,000 user base. And through that, I saw that like each one of those users probably bought a Captain America, a Spider, and the prices started to go up. And so prices were going up and users on the base were going up. And I'm like, I believe in NFTs. Now I've seen what Gary's done with the 10% royalties in his project. What's Marvel and Disney going to do with their 6%? And why would they not want this collectible to sell for millions of dollars in the future if they're getting 6%? So I'm like, bro, and this, you're never going to get, I started to look at what collectors look at.
Yeah.
And bro, it goes down to like the first mint number. So even in comic books, like comic book number 1 out of the 30,000 that they released to the stands, like that matters. At first appearance of that character matters. And if it has an FA next to that mint. So I started to see what collectors were looking for and what was grabbing attention for the first million people to the app. And so, I got in and I think I put like $3-4 grand. I met this guy from high school. He had bought a secret rare Spider-Man. I ran into him, on Facebook. And the Spider-Mans at that time were going for 23,000. Now you can't get one for less than 100,000. Logan Paul had his for sale for like 72 the other day. And it was on this podcast. But this guy gets in, so I see him. I'm like, bro, so sick. We're chatting on Facebook. Haven't talked to him in years. I'm like, I'm trying to get in more, but it sucks that you have to pay like 600 gems at a time. And it's like, I can't buy bulk. There's a fee. Well, he's like, hey, bro, there's a lot of people that I know that got in early like me when the app launched in January. And they have a lot of these, a lot of gems built up for collectibles that are now worth, but they can't cash out. Right before Christmas, I made a deal with a guy. He bought this little thing that I bought for like $13 for 6,000 gems, and I PayPal'd him $3,200. So I was like, hey, $3,200, I get 6,000 gems. I'm betting on this app. So I went shopping, right? Bought a bunch of stuff, bought a Mickey hat, bought this Elsa. Well, like, I seen in like 2 months.
So is all this digital?
All is digital. All digital collectibles by Disney, by Marvel.
Yeah.
And so, and you could check out that Vivi Collectibles, and then you could see based on each licensing brand the collectibles they have, right? So I did that, and I believe in Mickey, so I bought the Mickey hat. I like Elsa. I think people like Elsa. I bought the Elsa. Knew it was Disney. Well, within the first couple of weeks, I think I went from 6,000 gems to like 12,400. The floors had gone up, and then I was like, recently I looked at the Captain America. It was right at Christmas, and it's the first appearance of Captain America, but the app messed up. So if you look at all the other first appearances, it's the actual like Spider-Man, the actual Captain America. While they had the FA on the actual one, they come back and the Mighty Marvels was released first. So there's this little Captain America Mighty Marvel. At the time it was
said the app is called what?
VV Collectibles.
So VV like VE?
VE.
Collectibles. You got me curious now, bro.
Bro, I started buying these little Captain Americas that day. I switched it up. I took all my gems, cashed out of everything I was, and I bought Captain America's under $40. Like it was $40, 48. So right now the floor for Captain America's is sitting at like 220. So you can buy it for 220. And I got 153 of them. So, I mean, I've now every morning I check it, and like there's a little VV Collectibles app that kind of checks your like your balance. And from the 6,000 gems since I think I did that move right after Thanksgiving, so December 1st, I mean, I think I'm valued at like 34,000 gems. Damn. And I really think there's only 28,000 these first appearances.
Yeah.
I think when it hits Immutable X, so Immutable X is like where OpenSea and everyone's going because there's no gas fees. It's all carbon trading. So like Gary Vee did his book games on there because he airdropped us all these tokens, 120. He couldn't pay the fees for all that on OpenSea. So Immutable X is sweet. I really think I see all these other projects going for 1 Ethereum, 0.5 Ethereum. I think the Captain America will be going for an Ethereum soon.
Yeah.
When it hits that market.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's gonna. It's all up to Disney. What's Marvel? When Marvel says, "Hey, you get access to this at Comic-Con, or you get special this if you have a first appearance," that's like boom, through the moon.
Yeah.
And I've been buying these things since they were $40, and I'll have 153 of them when they're all worth an Ethereum.
I'm gonna look into it. Damn, that is wild.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I'm like a little overwhelmed of like the information. And it's like, damn, bro, like where does one start, right?
I think you start with understanding for sure the research. You got to do your own.
Yeah.
But what you look at it is you look at, they get a royalty and they're paired in the project with you. And why would Marvel want you to buy something that
it makes you feel like you're engaged?
You're
like,
with them.
Yeah,
you're partnered.
Yeah.
You're partnered in a collectible or a project.
That's mind blowing, bro.
Yeah.
So when people come up to you and say like, what do you do for a living? What do you tell them?
Casino industry. I work with tribes.
Yeah.
Like I have a call with Gary Vee.
You wouldn't tell yourself like I'm an investor too?
Yeah. So I tell people my aspirations when they're interested.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause like when people are interested, I talk like, where do you see yourself? What do you want to, and an investor is definitely what I want to be. I've started a business from the ground up, and I've been an operator and put in charge where I'm in a CEO position and I'm managing folks. I mean, the business never grew over like, 13 employees, 14 employees. But still, I kind of discovered quickly that being an operator and a CEO is tough, man. I don't know if and it's a lot. And I mean, not to say that I wasn't ready for the task. And if it's my idea that I'm betting on, I'm all for it. But I really started to look at, how do I get myself in a position? And then I got a little bit of capital through that first sale where I can be an investor, Yeah. And so really looking at some of these, tech investments like these, hopefully that gives me the capital to then say, if there's ever a 10% concept, a little restaurant in Albuquerque that I can help somebody out at, their family benefits, and then I get just even a little bit of mailbox money. You know what I mean? But I put them on. Yeah. And those add up. I mean, you do a few of those, and then it's helping folks. It's, because it's really not about the money for me, but it's about the financial freedom,
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's an obvious question to me, but are you in the 1%?
Well, I guess I'm there with investments. But so 1% is 400,000.
And
I make. Yeah.
So okay.
Say that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I do all right.
And you're definitely trying to. What's your goal as far as?
Well, because nothing's ever forever, right? I'm consulting right now, consulting for a great organization. They do great for the state, but variables change. People sell companies. Right. People then look at. So I always just try and I sold the company. I got back into the industry through this great consulting thing, and I'm active in other ways. There's a friend of mine that he's been in the used game market for years, and I was at a conference in Vegas last year in the gaming side. Comes up to me and he's like, "Bro, I've been meaning to talk to you. Got this idea." Well, him and a partner created the e-commerce of slot machines. So you can't just go sell slot machines on eBay, right? People need to be compliant to buy them. You need to have licenses. You need to be approved by the government. Yeah. Well, he's now created a digital marketplace where, when I used to buy with my old company, we bought games from Wynn and Caesars directly. And they would give us a spreadsheet, whether it was accurate or not. They would say 1,000 for this one, 3,000 for this one, and it was a broker business. Well, so this digital marketplace, fast forward, I'm consulting for the number 3, number 4 buyer of slot machines in the nation. So they have a whole used inventory. So now I've connected A to B, and I'm working on that deal, and hopefully that comes to fruition. So, I'm still active in the space. I'm also, when I looked at this VFriends investment, I looked at it as a perspective of if NFTs, and Gary's right, and NFTs are involved in everyday business. Well, one, how do I get closer to him? He gave these access tokens. So, he's not giving no utility in the next series. So I think even past these 3 FaceTimes I have with him, I think I'll get access with him forever.
God damn, you getting a FaceTime call with him?
So I get it on February 17th. I have a FaceTime with Gary. So that'll be kind of cool, you know,
because you bought
because I bought the FaceTime token, yeah, which is now mine.
How much is it?
So I bought mine for 10 grand, and now it's it's the cheapest one for sale is 26.3 Ethereum. Somebody has theirs for sale. So, and there's been a few people buying in. Like this dude just bought in from. He's a tech guy in San Francisco. We're on our own private Discord group.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's cool. So I'm gonna meet these people. I'm gonna tell Gary, like, I have relationships with tribes. I work in this marketplace. How are NFTs gonna affect that? And how can I mean, I've already been thinking. I'm ready. I want to be in the space. I want to have capital ready and just see what opportunities come within that, because opportunities are abundant. Yeah. And if this technology really is a disruptive, then I want to be involved. I want to be at the conferences. I want to be meeting people.
Yeah. So you say here in 5 years, you're going to be 7 figures, kind of?
I have no measurement, bro.
You don't?
To be honest, I have no measure. I have a long-term goal. It doesn't have necessarily a money tag on it, but I want to go back to Albuquerque, and I want to, obviously I want to work for myself. I want to be able to be in a position to where I put other businesses on and create economic development, growth. And I want, I know it's a long game. I know, Gary Vee started VaynerMedia at 34, after he had worked his whole life for Wine Library. Some of my mentors, started the company I'm consulting for, which is $1 billion company. He started it at 40, so it's really, I think right now I'm enjoying life too, but I'm trying to stack my chips because 40 is fucking young as fuck. You
gotta look at it. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So,
you just have this like, you're old. Like once you hit 30, you're old.
Yeah.
Like, nah.
So I'm like, I got a decade to stack. You know what I mean?
You're barely getting started and stuff. That's interesting, bro. I'm trying to definitely get into it, but it's like, for me, like it's hard as fuck because obviously, I'm trying to figure this out. I got the podcast. I don't make that like crazy investment. I just put a little bit, here, a little bit on, I'm big on the crypto space and then trying to learn the Ethereum, but the NFTs, but I want to get to the point where I have at least that capital, that play with money, kind of like where if like I got 2 racks, 3 racks, boom, I can put it somewhere, So that's where I'm trying to get, because I like the investment side of things. I like studying like just finance and like seeing where the economy's going, the dollar, where does it stand right now, inflation, all that crazy. Because I feel like you have to keep up with it,
Yeah.
So
so I've been doing this to a few of my friends. I'm definitely gonna do it with you, but I'm gonna give you one of my collectibles. I'll give you one of my Captain Americas and gets you going, so you start to watch it. Because VV right now, for the small pocket guy, like that's where you're gonna get some 10x gains. I mean, some of these collectibles, like I said, guys are buying them at $40 and they're worth $5,000 now. What's that return on investment? Like 2,000%, 3,000%. So, and some of these are worth, right now they're still going for a couple $100. So instead of the J's, buy the one little Captain America first appearance and see what it's worth in 2030.
I appreciate that, bro, for real, because I think that's a big one.
Get you going.
You talked about previously that your network is big. Like, how does that because I feel like, is it like, definitely meeting the right people, right? Putting yourself out there, network to meet the right people, right? Because I went on a trip in Florida and I met an actual 6-figure trader. Like, he does the day trading stuff. And I was like, this is the opportunity I need. Yes. And I went there and just chopped it up with him. And we got some future stuff working on too. So my thing is I just want to be free. That's what it really comes down to, right? It's just that freedom, like that financial freedom to be able to put your people on too. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And build a team empire, So that's what I definitely want to do. So it's like, I'm excited for that. And I genuinely believe it's like the people you meet, One thing I'm big is, and you also mentioned it too, is having a mentor. And that's like big, right? Because it's like kind of avoids you making those mistakes. You're going to make them, but it kind of minimize them.
Yeah. Kinda, Yeah. And it's the energy. It's the wisdom usually because usually your mentor or who you consider a mentor is someone you aspire to be. So if that's big and you end up getting lucky to find that person that's got there, they got a fucking whole basket full of knowledge, and that's the key, the knowledge, Yeah. It really is the key. Because that, for me, my mentor, when I got into the casino industry, he really emphasized long game to me. I mean, I didn't have no one emphasize long game to me like him. He made me realize, customer service and the relationship aspect. And, all businesses really, they say oil and gas is a good old boy industry, and gaming, Native American gaming definitely is. And it is very relationship based. But there's so many people that take the quick bag, whether it's like, hey, I'm gonna outbid and you're gonna overpay for this service. I know you're gonna say yes because you're ignorant to how much the service costs by anybody else. But eventually, when those people find out, you're just done. So I've played the long game with relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Relationship
That's
is
key.
huge.
That's key,
man.
bro. Like I feel like with this NFT crypto thing, where it's like pump and dump kind of thing, like you have to look at it long term, bro. Like this thing is like you want to be like reputable. Like you want to like people. Like it's your reputation that's on the line. Like you want to build that longevity. Like, Gary Vee, I feel like he can last the next 30 years and still kill it with all this information, all this like, so it's like, that's, I think is big, bro. I think that's key.
And you usually see it with creators. Like, are they giving value to the people in their project or are they cash grab?
Yeah.
And those are something you just have to fish on your own. And sometimes you get fooled, but that gives you the experience.
That's my mission, bro, is just to get that, like, surround myself with people that are like actually doing it big and like just.
Or at least taking swings.
Taking chances and shit. That's why I was like, bro, I got to get Casey on.
I don't want to be on the bench with everybody. I want to be swinging.
Like, bro, like I want to be the dumbest one in the room so I can keep learning.
Bro,
I can keep learning.
Mentality.
Yeah, exactly. And I think one thing that people do respect is like that consistency, right? You talk about Russ. I don't know if you fuck with Russ. 10 years in the game,
Manifest,
right?
His stuff, his songs. I love his stuff.
Yeah, he's hard. He's one of my favorite artists. I would love to interview him one day, so I speak that into existence. Drake, you got one. Drake been consistent, killing hit after hit. You respect that. LeBron, consistent. Year
17, 18, 19, 19, something.
Killing it. So like my thing with this is like, if I'm good at this, interviewing people and stuff, I want people to respect me at least. Like, damn, he had the podcast. He's still putting shit out there. Like, he's doing it for the love of it. And it's like, he's still doing it. It's like, you like, damn, bro, you still like, that's dope. What you guys got going on, this and that. So like, that to me is like, hell yeah. Like, I want people at least to find something, like they respect me because I'm consistent with it. I kept doing it no matter what, the views, so that to me is like big,
That's going to take you somewhere. That's tight.
Yes, bro. I'm big, bro. I'm definitely like, because my thing, bro, is like, my family, they're, the last name Ortiz, there's nothing big. Like, there's nobody big.
Big Papi Ortiz?
No, I'm saying, like, in the family, the family, like, there hasn't been anybody that, like, made it big. So I'm, like, trying to be that, like, wow, like, I'm going to put everybody on type, you know what I'm saying? And that's where I want to be, like, that big difference maker, like, that generational wealth kind of, like, you know, guy. So I'm hella motivated for this year, bro. This year is one of those where it's, like, I want to create that second source of income. And I got my small little portfolio on like, crypto and stuff. And it's like, I keep putting in there and it's like, leave it there,
Yeah,
and
let's
then
go.
I want to definitely in the stock market when it comes to that is like invest in like these big companies like Apple. I feel like Apple is going to keep innovating. I heard, they're coming out with augmented reality, which I think is kind of like that. Kind of like, I guess, complementary with the metaverse that we actually going to get. What do you think about the metaverse?
So basically, like, there's already a way now. And so Vivi's working with Apple. So they just announced they're working with Apple. Reason why, I think, because everyone in Apple started to see, I looked at my bank statement and it says $4.99 Apple charge, $2.99 Apple charge, $3. Like, what the hell is it? It's all going to Vivi because people are buying gems through Apple. So, now they're working with each other. They're launching those glasses, right? Well, these Vivi collectibles within the app, you can actually, like, I can place the collectible in the middle of the room and then
you
view
see it. You can see
it. Now with these glasses, you may walk into my house
and you see
and with the glasses, you can see all my collectibles digitally.
That is...
And I already have them placed strategically in the house. So when you walk in, you see my collectibles. But if you're in real life, you ain't going to see them.
To be honest, if I'm looking at it, I think that's going to be a little bit more successful than the Facebook metaverse, just because those big ass like Oculus that you have to wear, because it's cool. The concept is cool. First of all, the graphics are kind of trash, but having to wear that all the time. Now, if it's glasses, people can wear glasses.
There's different use cases, though. I think there's going to be more augmented use cases with the glasses that make things more efficient and easier for the consumer.
It ties into your everyday life.
Yeah, yes. The metaverse and Oculus, that's more of like, I'm here to game.
I'm at home.
I'm here to do this. Yeah, I look for virtual real estate. I'm here to explore another world.
What do you think about that, like virtual real estate? Because that to me is interesting. Like buying digital land, like. You see, like...
So why I like it is because you look at... You break it down into Web 0.1, Web 0.2, and Web 0.3, right?
That's Web 0.3, right?
Yeah. So, like, Web 0.1, that comes out and that's just text. And now Web.2 comes out and you got companies. And the only thing you can buy in Web.2 is your domain. Like say you lock down www.staples.com, then they gotta buy it from you. But everything else in Web.2 is owned by corporations. It's all owned by giant, like, yeah, you may put out content and you may put out your YouTube videos, but the minute YouTube says I don't want you on here no more, half-court's gone, you're gone.
Yeah.
You know, but now Web3, think of it as owned by the people. So the land, the billboards that advertise, the way information is processed. I mean, you still got to build up your brands to be as big as those, because CNN and all these people are going to take plays in the metaverse as well. Everyone is. Everyone's trying to get ahead to the technology, but it's still going to be an internet owned by the people. Now you can own assets, you can own things. And I mean, we probably can't even think of the capabilities in the business use cases yet until you dive into more of each business and how you could disrupt it. Bro. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, because I was like curious, like as far as the Oculus, I was like, I'm curious to see how content is going to be created in the Oculus
I think
world.
That's going to be more immersive. Yeah. And the augmented is just going to make things easier in life.
Like, because it's like, damn, like if I can get a swing of it, I love doing content. I love creating and grabbing the camera. So it's like, how can I take advantage? Like, is it going to be to the point where people are here with me while we do this podcast?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to definitely get into that. And to me, like, I'm going to show you this clip real quick because I know you fuck with NBA, basketball and stuff. They call this, the Nets are the first NBA team to integrate this. They're calling it the Netaverse. So what it is, it's like, I want to say it's like 300 cameras.
And it's like 2K where you're going in. Bro, courtside is changing. So now think about it. You're at home for $9.99. I'm going to watch the game tonight with my boy courtside, or we're going to fly around the fuck and watch the game together.
That to me was mind blowing. And I'll put a clip here on the screen if you guys want to check it out. But when I seen that, I was like, we are in the future, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
and you know how many $9.99 tickets are going to sell? At home. Everyone's going to want to watch the game. Especially going to be better than watching it in the court.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be able to walk and LeBron's going to be dribbling through you.
Yeah.
About to dunk. And no one's going to see your avatar, but you and your boy are going to see each other.
It's crazy because it's like, it's a lot of cameras and like they have people behind it. And I think that's something that the NBA is always thinking ahead on how can they keep the fans involved. And I like that shit. Yeah. I like that. I think eventually we're going to get to the point where like there's exclusive NBA tickets with NFT and blockchain. Like you go to a Dallas game and you get to meet Mark Cuban or some shit like that. Like,
sure.
That's mind blowing.
Sure.
To me.
Or you just get an NFT with your regular $200 ticket that you always purchase. And yeah, throughout the season, 50 of those NFTs mean nothing. People just see digitally that, damn, he goes to a lot of Mavericks games, but that's all it is. Except for 51 when Luka drops 100 points and you were at that game and he breaks an all-time record. And everyone's like, well, I want everyone to see that I was at that game and own the ticket stub.
You have the proof.
Even though I wasn't there. So I'm going to pay you for it so I can show digitally that and people are like, well, why would people want to flex with digital items? Like, I don't know. Why do people want a blue check mark? You know what I mean?
That's exactly what it is.
Like,
I think
it's like, bro, people are going to flex with digital items. That's going to be the new flex.
You know, ignorant me was like, the fuck, like, what is the point of buying digital stuff in the digital world? But now if you think about it, the kids, right, when they buy a Fortnite skin, they want to flex it to their friends.
Or the new dance.
Yeah, they want to flex that shit. It's like, it clicked to me. I was like, that makes perfect sense.
And now everyone puts Bored Ape on their Twitter. You know, should I put my FaceTime fly on my Twitter? You know, yeah, it's like a flag.
Bro, that is fucking. So it's all about status. That's what it comes down to, right?
It's like anything else. You know what I mean? But that's a piece of it. Don't get me wrong. That's just a piece of it. But it contradicts the argument that people have about, I don't get it. Why? It's the same internet thing. Like, why would you ever put your card information online? Like, you're crazy. Now everyone buys this stuff on their phone.
Even when the internet was a thing, it's like people posted selfies. Like, why would you post a selfie? Like, that's like that's creepy. Like, that's just people like
anyone can see you. Yeah, now everyone. Yeah,
and now that's the thing. You know,
dinner, breakfast, lunch. Yeah.
Damn, bro, this definitely has been the podcast. Like. Yeah, it's like a lot. Like I'm trying to process all this stuff.
And brands that you've loved your whole life that you would be like, I'd invest in that brand. If they're going to adapt and not die, they're going to be like everyone else, the NBA, and they're going to get involved in this metaverse thing and this NFT thing. So since we're going in a digital world, all these brands are going to have digital representation. Follow the brands you like. The minute they launch that digital representation, buy it. Like I just followed Gap because the Yeezy thing that I had followed them on Instagram. Then all of a sudden I seen Gap was launching an NFT project. I saw that, bro. And it was $8. It was $8.33.
So, okay. When I seen that, and I was gonna, I I get so sidetracked and that messes me up because I seen it and I was gonna look into it, but I was like, why would I want an NFT from Gap? Because I seen it. Yeah. And you were like, oh, $7.
And I had the same thought.
I was like, but why?
My thought was like, well, fuck, if Ye puts on a digital concert, which everyone's been putting on digital concerts, I'm like, he puts it on and he has a Gap hoodie on his avatar because he can wear it. Like, boom, I just bought it for $8 and now everyone wants to own the hoodie that, I don't know. But for $8, it was so easy for me to say yes. Because it's the first time Gap had actually put something on the internet, and that brand is going to be around.
They stepped into it.
Like, exactly. Yeah. So that's even the whole first appearance thing gets me like Adidas. What's the first shoe? Nike. What's the first? Because I think when the metaverse is sound, everyone's going to go back and they're going to be like, what was the first thing Nike put out? What was the first thing Gap? The big brand, and you're going to own it, and you're going to have bought it for $8.
Bro, wow.
Who wants? I mean, they're probably one of the first hoodie lines that you can wear in the metaverse. You know what I mean? I haven't seen a bunch of other hoodie lines come out with NFTs, so it's like, could be a thing, And the minute somebody and again, they're paired in the win with you, they don't want that project to die. They always want to get residual royalties. And I've heard talks of like, they're going to send us free sweaters every time sweaters come out now in Gap. So you just get the free sample with your size. Well, now everyone knows I get a free sample every winter, and, maybe they want to buy it for $2,000 from me. And maybe I want to sell it because I bought it for $8. I don't know.
Okay. So how does I'm going to ask you this question. Let's say you have to start from zero, your company went bankrupt, whatever the case is, and you got to start from zero. Where do you start? What do you do?
You
lost everything in the crypto. You lost your.
I love that. I love that. Cause like, honestly, that would be like the biggest, let's go, but I would just no one could take what you know. Right. So for one, my business knowledge, I know I can go into any tribe and improve their bottom line. So, maybe I had to go make some money to invest then. Right. So I'd either do that. I was just talking to a boy today, doubling down on this space. Like, you can do a 10-minute YouTube video now and learn how to make an NFT on the Ethereum network. So do that. And then all of a sudden, now that you understand, and I'm ahead of the game and understand the contract aspect, I go to the cat shelter in town, the best one around. And I'm like, you know what, guys? I'm going to work for you guys for free, and I'm going to create you guys a new stream of revenue. They're going to look at me and be like, okay, do it. You know what I mean? Now, all of a sudden, every cat that gets taken away by an owner and gets adopted, I take a cool little cute picture of the cat and I launch an NFT that person now keeps. And then there's a royalty fee that is, if you buy that picture of that cat that got donated, the royalty goes back to the shelter. And then you use their internal, marketing team, their internal, who gets the word out today, use all their infrastructure to promote that NFT project, and then take a little royalty for yourself. Like, there's money to be made out there. Bro. But do it and understand it. And now the people love kitties. All of a sudden, you're the first one, and they know the money's going to the shelter, and it's the best shelter in town. It's a win-win. You get your, and then you get a little 2% for running the ops and creating them a new stream of revenue.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. There's ideas out. You just gotta grind. Like, if I went to zero, let's go.
That is wild, bro. I like that idea because it's like it definitely.
And that's just one.
That's like, one.
That's as you get involved and you understand this part, you can go to any business, and it's like the Netflix thing. Like, if you're going to a business and telling them, "Let me add more revenue to your bucket," like, who's gonna say no? Try, kid.
The whole Netflix thing to me is like, their story is just mind blowing. Like, they went to Blockbuster, Hastings, and they're like, nah, they got shut down quick, and it's like now they're like an empire. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy to me, like. Even just looking at how the market moves, like, I think they bought Friends for like 200 million or some shit. Like, that to me is ridiculous. Like, the show Friends.
Yeah, that one was a big one.
The big movements and stuff. Like, okay, they bought that for 200 million, but how much are they going to make by just showing it to the subscribers? Like, to me, that's like, wow.
And when you're thinking about a timeless classic, like, there's going to be kids born today that are going to be 20 years old and be like, this old vintage show is cool. Yeah. I know some people that watch like old school movies. I'm like, bro, how do you still watch that? If it's a timeless classic, it's a classic. Yeah. And Netflix gets cloud and streaming. So that's brilliant.
I like to see how these big companies move because they're smart. I feel like, like I said, when it comes to those stocks, Apple's definitely one. And I was leaning towards Tesla, but Tesla's like, it's like it kind of fluctuates. It sometimes have bad press. And I know Elon is definitely onto big things. This guy is running 3 big companies.
I mean, the biggest thing you got to look at is we just approved, what is it, $100 trillion going green. Everything is going to be EV. They're going to stop electric gas vehicles in California in 2025. Only electric purchase only. 2025. Really? We're talking 3 years. You can't buy a gas car.
Really?
No new Ford shit. Really? Like, this is a law. Like, this is going to happen first in California. So if you're looking at that and you're looking at, okay, electric vehicles is the future. Now our company our country just said 100 trillion, and you're looking at the company that was first to market. Like, that might be just, they're going to go through volatility for sure, but just average dollar cost average in.
Damn, that's interesting because you got those people that are like, I want a motor car. Like, fuck electric. I don't, So I think that's going to cause where it's like more people to move out of it. Like,
but who knows? I really think the uber rich will still end up owning like classic cars in the future. But like, if these EVs, if they make more sense, with if autonomous becomes a thing, I think the law really just comes down to being better for the earth.
Right.
But like, also the US could then all of a sudden, because it could still be affordable to own both, even if that's the law and you're a rebel. But then all of a sudden the US and OPEC get out of line, and now we don't buy that much because it's all electric. And then now gallons of gas go to, like, if you are the uber rich, it's because gallons of gas are $150 a gallon. You know what I mean? Like, what if that happens and it now forces the people to go electric? I really think electric is the future regardless. So Tesla's first to market with that, and they've proven to be successful.
They started it.
Everybody
was afraid like to jump into that space, and like Tesla was like, I'm gonna do it. And I thought when you talk about electric cars, I think about Teslas.
Yeah, I think you need Tesla exposure, if you're in the market.
Interesting.
But the S&P 500, again, it has the best 500 countries, and it rotates all the time. So buying the S&P or index that traces it, is a good move.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Yeah. But if you're looking for 10x, 20x gains on other little bit of money, go crypto and NFTs. Like, right now, the best thing I could say you could do if you're in college, like, if you want to continue your college and you want to be a doctor, an engineer, keep doing it, whatever. But take the extra like 50 hours the next 2 weeks in your dorm room, just dive into NFTs, because I think in the future there's going to be so many as the technology starts to get adapted on a more mass scale, and it'll happen with Ethereum going to Ethereum 2.0, no gas fees, all that stuff. That's where you're gonna make your money. It's kind of like a developer in the internet.
Are they getting away with the gas fees? Because those can fuck you up.
So ETH2 is a proof of stake. They've just taken a while to go to proof of stake. So like, it kind of sucks because if you got into crypto and you're like, bro, we're gonna buy a big ass warehouse and 60,000 miners and we're gonna mine Ethereum. Well, now there's no more mining.
So that was the purpose of mining, is those gas fees?
So mining was the purpose of how blockchain started. Blockchain started through proof of work, which was a network of systems and computers that validated the network. That's how it works today, right? Well, Cardano, the co-founder of Ethereum, broke off and made proof of stake. Now there's another company called Solana that came out, and it's proof of stake and proof of history. Well, proof of stake just allows the computers not to have to mine and validate anymore. It's actually proven by the amount of coins you own. So it kind of comparable to a stock and how many shares you own. You have more say. So Ethereum 2.0 is going to that. And I hadn't seen Immutable X yet. Immutable X is the platform that it'll be a marketplace on Ethereum. But Gary Vee launched his book games on there, and I seen how cool it was, because if you trade NFTs on OpenSea, like, you're paying sometimes during the gas fees like $300, $100, and it's not relative to how much you're trading. Like, if the NFT's worth $1 million, it could be worth $10 or $1 million. You're still paying the $300 just because gas is high at the time. The computers are working extra, but this Immutable X, bro, you can trade in and out. Gary, I know everything's going to go to that, and you're going to be able to trade it. And, crypto's just developing, and the tech's getting better. Just like it was with the internet, and the internet got better. It's the same way with blockchain and developers. That was a huge, when you're in college in the 90s, it was like, become a software developer. You're going to kill it. And a lot of them did. And I think now it's like, get into NFTs and create how to develop that. And if you're an artist now, understand that you can just put this stuff into the world for very cheap, and it may not do anything for the first 3 years, but all of a sudden you get seen by the right person that buys it, and your shit blows up, and you can do it for minimal. Like, if you're an artist now, you can put your stuff out there for nothing, and blockchain gives back to the creators. It's cool.
Damn, bro, this was one hell of a podcast, bro. I'm gonna close it. We've been here for an hour. Appreciate you for taking the time, bro.
Yeah,
we're gonna chop it up.
We're gonna get you all set up on VV right now,
bro. For real, I'm about to do that right now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in. This was a very informative podcast. One more thing, bro, before we close this. You're very low key on social media. I do like that. Is there a purpose behind it?
You know, not really.
Because it's like you're not like really, you don't need social media to benefit. Like for me, I need it because of the, I promote my podcast and stuff.
Exactly. I don't need it to like create my brand. I don't really.
Okay.
So then it's,
I don't like social media. Like I'm already,
and
I'm
I still do, you know what I'm saying? But it's more like, I get better satisfaction out of sending the personal snaps or the personal messages or the groups, you know what I mean? But other than that, it's like, and then I forget, most of the time. But yeah, you're right. If I owned a business, my tribes are set, they're not, it's not a B2B, so yeah, that's probably the biggest reason.
Okay. So you're not on it that much.
I'm just not on it that much. Okay. And when I am on it, I'm on.
It's an in and out kind of thing.
I'm on it for research, like Twitter. Like I've been heavy on Twitter a lot lately
and you
since
said,
NFTs.
Reddit? Is Reddit a good spot for that?
So I haven't been on Reddit as much. I was on Reddit more with stocks.
Twitter. Discord, I see that.
Twitter and Discord, bro. The VFriends, you can just get in the VFriends Discord. You can get in the VV Discord. You can get in the. So I'll just like when I'm on VV and I'm like, well, what's pumping? I'll go in the little Discord and be like, yo, what is everybody pumping out there? What's everybody just throwing some? And then you get some R&D through people that are heavy, because usually the people that are involved in one of the projects, they're in that thing all day, and they're talking about what they're buying or what they're. So it's good R&D.
Okay.
But yeah, that's really what I use social for, or my close group. But then again, that's when you get I just went to Dallas for the Niner game, big Niner fan. So I didn't even post that I was there.
Bro.
You know what I mean? But there was a few people I was telling like, bro, and I had one of my friends and I'm holding it.
That was a game, bro. That was one hell of a game, bro. Sorry for the Cowboy fans, man.
Sorry for the Cowboy fans.
I don't know why I became a hater. I think it's just like they're just too, like Cowboy fans are too delusional. That's probably why I became a hater. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like, I enjoyed that game.
I mean, I enjoy Idealists, but we got to keep it real.
So you're the 49er?
49ers, yeah. Big Niner fans. So I was a kid. Yeah.
Where do you think they're going?
Green Bay, baby. We're going to Lambeau. We're going to take down Aaron Rodgers. We always got his card. He grew up wanting to be a Niner. Yeah. So I think we got him. But I don't know. I don't want to get over it.
Can't underestimate.
Yeah, bro. It's Green Bay, but it's snowing and it's super cold, and I think that favors us because we're better with the run. Their run defense isn't as good. And Aaron Rodgers is great with the pass.
You like to go to a lot of sports.
Yeah.
You fuck with the sports.
I fuck with experiences. Yeah. And bro.
That's like an experience, huh?
Yeah, bro. I had never seen my team play in the playoffs. I've gone to Candlestick and I've gone to.
How was the atmosphere? Like crazy, huh?
Bro, it was so sick. Yeah. Seeing your team play in the playoffs. And then I'm able to get a good ticket. Bro. You
didn't do the box?
Yeah. No, I didn't get a box. No,
bro, you always do the box, huh? That shit is like, that's boss shit, bro.
That's a baller, yeah.
That's like,
but usually that's based on my network. Like people I've learned. Like I went to Lambeau this year, actually, and I was in the box with Bob Dunn. He's the one that did the whole expansion. But it was only because I had relationships with the tribe at Ho Chunk, and one of my best friends, Braveheart, introduced me. I sat in on a meeting between them and Amazon. They're trying to get the Alexas in all the hotel rooms. Yeah. So they took us to the suite. So I'm not saying I bought that thing, but
it's network. That was your network.
It was my network. Yeah.
That to me is like shit. Like I'm trying to get to that level. Like one of my goals.
Games.
Yeah. One of my goals is to be able to sit courtside Thunder games. Like. Be the next Spike Lee of Thunder. Fuck it. That's what I want to do. I like that shit. Yeah. And to me, it's interesting. Like the boxes, going to the like OU games, football games and stuff. I enjoy that shit.
Sporting events. Yeah. And I want to check out like Formula One. One of my boys went to the Austin one this year. Yeah. Said it was a blast. So like Formula One races are an event. They think the cheapest table, he said, there was like 10 grand. He said he talked to the bouncer, got him to let him in. He was like, look, bro, you're making not that much. I can't get in because I can't afford that. And because he had asked the lady, he's like, bro, I paid $500 to get it. She's like, that's the cheapest ticket to get in here. Next thing you know, he like Venmos the dude at the line like $100 and he sneaks into these tables. He was like, I think Travis Scott had performed there too at the Formula One in Austin. He got it. And like, it's cool because, what I've always wanted to do too is like an NBA All-Star game. It's just like a group, you fly to Charlotte, you see all the All-Stars. It's
dunk
just
competition.
Dunk competition, 3-point. I like events like that. Experiences like that, you got to do once. You got to do once.
Damn, bro. And that's one of my things where it's like, that's really why I want to hustle and grind. It's not really about the money. It's about the experience.
Yeah,
you know, it's
there's
like
some stuff I haven't felt yet.
Yeah, exactly, bro. So that's definitely one. And just traveling the world, bro. Like going to Tokyo, like that's on the other side of the goddamn world. You know what I'm saying? Like that, those sporting events and stuff.
Might
like,
end up doing a Tokyo bath. You never
bro,
know.
they got those too?
No,
I was going to say like, oh shit.
No, I'm just
like,
playing
yeah,
with
bro,
you.
that too.
I'm
Is
just playing with you.
yeah, bro, being able to like just chop it up and meet entrepreneurs. Like I would love to interview Gary Vee. Chop it up with him. You know
I
what
can't
I'm
wait
saying?
to have this call.
Russ.
I'm a little nervous.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Bro, how long is that call?
It's 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
But he's been going, like I've been seeing, there's in our group, people will post their calls. So I guess right after they record it and they send it to you. But he'll go like 7. I've seen him go like 7. I don't think he just, you know what I mean?
Right, he's just.
But he does have a few of them back to back to back because he schedules them like 2 days. So there's 85 holders in my group.
Yeah.
So, and he did it between 2 days. So the first calls went out in November. I chose to do the second call in February. I just felt it was closer to VCon.
Yeah.
It was better, so. It's gonna be interesting though,
bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to VCon and meet him too?
VCon, yeah.
Is that gonna be your first time meeting him?
Yeah,
Like face to face?
Face to face, yeah. I've never met him before. So VCon only the holders, which is only 10,255. I think he added some extra tickets in there, but his whole plan is to meet every holder at VCon. And what was cool was I seen on our Discord, they're like, hey Gary, so like if VCon is like South by Southwest and all these, like a collaboration of all these conferences, what is your Royal Rumble? And he was like, access tokens. So I have an access token. I think out of the whole collection, there's like 185 access tokens. So my hope is that like he has some of his closest network friends.
Yeah.
And I've heard rumors like we'll all go in a room and like share a mic and like talk, and 100-person room with him and like maybe Cuban or something like that would be
epic.
So hopefully, you know.
Damn, I'm with it. I'm big. I need to pay more attention. And it goes back to like, I go on social media, post my stuff, and I'm out. So like, I need to pay more attention to like, especially like people like Gary Vee, because I'm a big Gary Vee fan. I've always like listened to him. He always talks about eat shit, do your shit, don't fuck everybody, and like to me that's big. So like, I need to pay more attention to that, because if I get an opportunity like that where it's like I get to like chop it up with him, I think that's
and if you want to learn in this space, he's putting out just gems all the time.
Bro, that's wild, bro. I'm excited for that trip for you, bro. You're going to fucking kill it, bro. I feel like you are, bro.
Yeah, we're going to have to do a podcast at the end of the year again.
Yeah, for sure, bro. So let's go ahead and wrap this up, bro. I appreciate it, man. And y'all stay tuned. Peace.
Let's go.